All right. So this is part deuce of me making my little. Let me show you. Me making my keychain. Okay. So this is part two. Okay. I'm gonna finish my little army keychain. And first, you gotta get sewing machine. Me, I have you know me, Skyline S3. It's really nice. I like it. It has like this automatic feature. I don't have to use a pedal thing to get the machine go. I can just hit the button, the start and stop button, eject and all that. So you can have a bunch of little patterns. See all the little patterns in there. It's really nice. It's a really nice machine. So I'm gonna show you what I did with this. So first you gotta fold it. You gotta fold it on the inside. You can't fold on the outside, you gotta fold on the inside. Because when you finish, you're gonna see what I'm gonna do. Let me stitch it together. Alright, so here I go. I'm gonna stitch all this up together now, and we're gonna show you what we do after we're done this. And again, all you're doing is just taking the thing, folding it, and lining the edge up. You gotta line up the edge like that, so you're just lining it up. That's all I'm doing. And you can run the machine as slow or as fast as you want to. You know, the choices are, the more comfortable you are, the faster you can run the machine. The less comfortable you are, the slower you're gonna run the machine. And see, it has this cool feature. Push this button up here and it actually cuts the thread for you. So all you gotta do is pull it out. Really neat features it has. That's why I like it. Now let me go get the other part to this and I'll be right back. All right, so the next part of this is actually simply gonna need something like this. It's a tool that helps you flip these things inside and out. And I dropped it again. My whole side here hurts. It's in pain. But I'm trying to prevent my tic and my seizures, and usually if I stay busy again, it tends to stay away. So that's why I try to stay busy as I can, even though I'm in a lot of pain. So here we go. And that's it, you just push the thing in one side, and you grab it on the other side, and you just pull it all the way through to the other side. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Depends on the type of fabric you're using. This thin fabric is usually a lot easier than the thicker stuff. The thicker stuff like jeans, you don't want to flip through. And yeah, I've used jeans to make key rings. And trust me, it's hard to flip. And it's usually right where the embroidery kicks in. That's where it gets harder to flip because you have to fold the embroidery. And embroidery is not the easiest thing to fold. It just wants to stay jammed up, as you can see. Just kind of want to jam up there and just don't want to come through. So you kind of like finagle it to pull through on itself. Kind of like that. You have like to literally force it to sometimes. Sometimes it comes through easy, other times not so much. There it goes, see? Just keep yanking on it and we'll just come right over, and there it is. There's now my army on the opposite side. Now, there's a couple of ways you can get this thing to look flat. You can use starch. You can use an iron, then starch it. You can just press it without starch. You can steam it. You can rub it against an edge or something, and it will flatten it out. But I just tend to leave it alone and let it naturally find its own center. Every now and then it depends on the fabric. Some fabrics I have to force it to go into itself or let it go flat. Other ones I can just leave it alone like this and just naturally just stays flat. See that? I've seen people where they put stuff on the inside and then try to fold it, but I know that you just leave the fabric alone. It's easier to fold into itself like this. And the part I forgot to show you, I literally rip off the excess embroidery. So there was, as you saw when you see, there was nothing with the where the army is right here, I ripped the embroidery right to the very edge of the embroidery. So the stabilizer's out of here. So this thing is a lot more flexible and easier to work with. If you leave the stabilizer in there, you're gonna have problems. It's not gonna be easy to flip. It's not gonna be easy to roll over like this. You're gonna have to maybe find a different way to stitch it, but I like mine like this. I like the stitching in the back. So when you make a keychain, you'll never see the stitching anywhere. That's just my design. There's a bunch of different ways people do this. You can choose to do however you want. All right, you don't have to follow this way. I'm just showing you how I do it. And again, like I said, it would just naturally. Now, it would naturally lay flat. But so here we go. So you line it up now, however you want this thing. If you want to line up the letters, if you want to line up the letters together, if you don't really care. But for me, I like to line up the letters. So I line up the letters, right? And then I bring them down, find the edges, get my scissors. I think I bring my scissors back. I brought my scissors back, hold on. All right, so I got my scissors now. Here we go. So I'm gonna slice this piece off. So what I'm really doing is just leveling this off. So I'm just gonna cut the excess off. See, nice and level now. And then it's centered. Ow, that flipping hurt. Drop the scissors on my toe. See? Now, there it is. Army right on the ends. And then I can do whatever. I can make it short if I need to. But I just want just the army piece of it. And then you can see it's big enough for a hand to go through it. I can make it a little bigger, so I'm pretty sure a hand can really go through it without any problems. Or I can just leave it the length it is. And I'm probably gonna leave it the length it is because I like the length that it is with the army just kind of hanging out on the ends. All right, and that's what I was talking about. You could space this even more. I could have made the army vet bigger, but I didn't measure it properly. I should have measured it, but I never did. You can make the army longer. You can make the room more space. It don't matter. You do whichever one works best for you. All right, so I'm gonna leave it just like this, and then I'm gonna put on the ends. Now there's a few ends, so you can do an end like this, and there's even more that I don't even have. I'm gonna look into them too. So you can put on the end like this where it crimps, and you need something like this. This is the crimping tool for it. Just grab it and squeeze it. Or, which is the end I'm going to actually use, you can use the end like this. So I'm gonna double this up. There's going to be this coupled with, let me find them. There they are. D-rings. So this is the end I'm going to use on this one. I want it to be a little bit more sturdy on the end because those are nice. I like to put them on specific ones. You know, I think it's more female-y type dealy. But since this is I want to make it more gender neutral, this one. So I'm gonna use a D-ring. All right, and I'm gonna put it right on the end here, like so, and then couple it with this. So it's gonna be two of these right on the end, just like that. All right, so let's get into that part of it. So first thing you wanna do is put on your D-ring. You gotta put this on. And then let it sit in the middle. Now there's a few ways you can actually do this. You can actually stitch the ends together. But no matter what you do, make sure you have your thing on the inside like this. Okay, no matter how you do it, it needs to be on the inside. So you're gonna fold it in on itself like that. See? See, the army is on the opposite side? So it's on the inside. Because when you finish, you're gonna fold it out. All right. There's a few ways. You can stitch it together like this. Stitch it together like this, and then fold it out like so. All right. And then you bring this up in here. Bring this up in here and then you stitch it in again like so. So it's going to be locked in with stitching on both ends like that. All right, but I don't like to do it that way. I don't like the way it looks when it's finished. So I've come up with a different way to do this. And I'm gonna find different ways to do it. I just don't really make keychains that often. So this is just from me just messing around. So here we go. You're gonna grab one of the ends. Usually take the biggest end. The biggest end, you're gonna not use that end. You're gonna use a smaller end and you're gonna fold in. Literally, you're gonna take it, you're gonna fold it in on itself like that. It's a little hard to get it going, but you're gonna fold it in on itself. And this helps push it in. So when you finish, it looks like that. You're gonna fold it in on itself. Now, people who have been doing this for years probably gonna have way more experience folding this stuff in. So once you fold it in, and you fold it in, it doesn't have to be very far, but you just fold it in. Just keep playing with it. Sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes, depending on the fabric, how messed up it is, it won't go in. Sometimes you just don't want to fold at all, so you have to like force it to go in. And you put your finger in it just to smooth it out some, or you can use like a pencil or your scissors or that thing. You take the scissors and then you kind of spread it out some so it stays flat on the inside. Then you take your other side, fold it on itself, and you just kind of tuck it in there. You know what? I think I did the wrong side. Let's go back over that. Take the big side and fold it in, because the little side goes on the inside. See, I haven't done this in a while. Show you how long I haven't done this. Really don't make these things that much. That's why I'm not a pro at it. I'm probably gonna cut out the first half. I'm just tell you just to use the big side alone. Take something, shove it down in there. My keyring fell off. Like I said, sometimes it's just hard to get this thing down in there, so you gotta like force it to go down. Any way you can, just get the fabric down in there. Then you're gonna put your keyring back on because mine fell off. And then you're gonna take the little side, pull it back out. Well, mine was tucked in because I started with the little side first, which was kind of crazy. I shouldn't have. Oh, I got way more than I thought it was down in there. So I'm gonna take this and you're gonna kind of bend it just a tad bit, just to kind of put like a little tiny bend on it, something like that. Open this up and you're gonna shove this down in there. So you're just gonna just push it in there, just like that. See, just push it in there. As far as you want to get it, you don't have to go very far. Just push it in there, and then you're gonna just flatten it back out. So the ends look flat, like that. See that? You can use something to help flatten it out some. Scissors, whatever, it really doesn't matter. Just get something to kind of flat out the fabric, especially on the ends. The inside don't matter, but the ends on the outside, they kind of do matter a little bit. Make sure you have your D-ring on there. And then we're gonna stitch it. around so you can see. Alright. So what we're gonna do is just gonna put it on the machine. We're gonna stitch right there where the joint is. We're gonna stitch it. Go back and forth with it like this. What you're doing is going to reinforce that section, the joint, and then cuts it and then take it out. So what I just did was, reinforce this connection point right here where there's two fabric joints. I reinforced it so when I pull on it, it won't come apart. And the thing that I'm using, so if you're wondering what thread I'm using, I'm actually using embroidery thread. This is actually embroidery thread. Okay, just makes it stronger. And as you can see, nice and flat on the ends. Then when I pull my D-ring around, once I flip this whole thing around, that's on the outside. See, I take my D-ring, flip that around, and I put it right where that joint is. And I'm gonna stitch right in that same spot again.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit.
And I didn't leave it long enough for it to cut. And there it is.
I ain't playing,
you can't even tell where you can tell where it is because you know where it is, but you know, somebody looking at it, there's no seam anywhere. Nice. Okay. That's my keyring. All done. The only thing I have to do is just add this piece to it, and then there it is. It's done. That's my army veteran keyring. And it's very, very, very sturdy. So that's how I make my keyrings, and I just want to show you that I used it with the that belt hoop. So now I can get both sides. Usually when I'm doing it, I have to do. Well, usually when I do them, I have to do just the one side, just because how the fast clamp used to hold it. But now because the belt hoop holds it so much better. The fabric don't even bubble. Usually the fabric is all like clumpy and warpy and shit stuff. But look, it's not even warped. It's not even clumped anywhere. It's just, it came out really good using that belt hoop. And I can make more of these two-sided ones using that belt hoop. Thanks again, Sotek, for sending that to me. And if you want to know how you want to make them, just watch the video and you can make these things. Peace.